Okay, so in question number 2.25, they are asking us to find out the charge on each capacitor, and this is the type of arrangement that is given. Now if you look closely, it might look like parallel connection, okay, but here there is a battery connected. That means from the battery you have a capacitance, and that capacitance is connected in series with C1, C2 and C3. So basically C2, C3 are in series, which is in parallel with C1, and this combination is in series with C4. Alright, so that is how you will be finding out the answer. So first, here you are having a battery, let us say minus plus. So this is 300 volt battery. From here, C4 is connected. Okay, then from there, it is splitting into two. Alright, and then you connect this to positive terminal. So this is point A and this is point B. Alright, now so this is C4, C2, C3 and C1. Now you need to find out the charge on each capacitor. So for that, first we need to find out what is the total capacitance. So total capacitance will be, first the C2 and C3 are in series connection. So therefore you will be having 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3, which is equal to 1 by 200 plus 1 by 200, that is 2 by 200. Okay, so when you take the reciprocal, so reciprocal of the series combination is 100 picofarad. Okay, 100 picofarad. Now this 100 picofarad is in parallel with C1. Okay, so if it is in parallel with C1, that means what combination is that? Parallel, so you just have to add it. So 100 plus 100 picofarad. So that will be 200 picofarad. So this was for C1 and CS. Okay. Now this 200 picofarad is in series with C4. Okay. This entire thing is in series connection with C4. So what will you get? So you will be getting 1 by 200 plus 1 by 100. So that is equal to 3 by 200. Okay. Then if you take the reciprocal, so the total capacitance is equal to 200 by 3 picofarad. Alright, now this is the total capacitance and the total voltage is given as 300 volt. Alright, now what is the total charge? The total charge Q will be equal to C into V. Okay, C into V. So that is 200 by 3 into 10 to the power minus 12 into 300 volt. So this is 100. And some 2 gets cancelled here. What are we going to get? 2 into 10 to the power of plus 4 into 10 power minus 12. So that is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 8 coulomb. Okay. So this is the total charge, but they are asking charge on each capacitor. So we need to slightly change this. Okay. So what we are going to do is, this is the total charge. Total charge means in this whole circuit, this is the charge. So this charge only will be present in C4 capacitance. Okay, so C4 capacitance, like enna charge irukkum? This 2 into 10 power minus 8, because it is a series combination. Okay, so series combination irukadnala idukkum totala the same charge irukkum. Okay, because the same charge is flowing through the entire circuit. So for C4, what is the charge? 2 into 10 power minus 8. So I can write, okay, Q4 is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 8 coulomb. Alright, இப்போ C1, C2, C3 ல நமக்கு charge find out பண்ணோம்னா first இங்க எவ்வளவு voltage இருக்குன்னு தெரியணும். We should find out what is the voltage. Okay, so for that what we will do is we will find out the voltage of C4. Okay, and then we will minus that voltage from 300. So the remaining voltage will be for A and B. Okay, so what is V4 equal to? V4 will be equal to, so from this equation, Q by C. Okay, so what is Q? 2 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb. And what is C4? So C4 value is 100 picofarad. So I can write here 100 into 10 power minus 12. So what is the voltage? 200 volt I think. Yes. So I will be getting 200 volt. So that means V4 is 200 volt. So here we are having 200 volt. Okay, so that means between A and B, the voltage will be 100 volt, because 300 minus 200. So that is 100 volt. So now C1 capacitance is having 100 voltage. C2 and C3 together are having 100 voltage. Okay, so how we will do? How we will find out the charge? Okay, so here Q1 is equal to C1 into V1. Okay, what is C1? 100 picofarad, 100 into 10 power minus 12 into, what is V1? 100. Okay, so Q1 is equal to 10 to the power of minus 8 coulomb. Okay, so this is Q1. Then Q2, C2 and C3 are equal capacitances. Okay, so this 100 volt will be equally split between these two. So here you will have 50 volt. Okay, and here you will have 50 volt. So the charge on Q2 is equal to charge on Q3. Both are same. Okay, and what is the charge equal to? So it is equal to, you can write any one. So C2 V2 is equal to, C2 is 200 picofarad into 10 power minus 12 multiplied by 50. Okay, so 5 into 2000, 10,000 I think. Yes. So Q2 equal to Q3 is equal to, so this is 10,000 into 10 to the power minus 12. So this is also 10 power minus 8 coulomb. Okay, so Q2 is equal to Q3 is equal to 10 power minus 8. So together Q1 is 2 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb, and Q4, Q1 is just 10 power minus 8. Therefore, the charge on each capacitor is this. Okay. So question number 2.26 was a homework. Okay, now we are going to do question number 2.27. So the question is that there is a 4 microfarad capacitor, okay, which is charged up to 200 volt. Alright, it is given 200 volt to supply, and then what happens is it is removed from that supply, and then a 2 microfarad is connected in series. It's connected in series with this capacitor. So they are asking to find out what is the loss of energy. Loss of energy. Alright. Now, so to find this, first we need to see what is the total charge that is present here. Okay. So the total charge Q initial is equal to, before that, we can find the weight. Yes. So the total charge on the capacitor, okay, will be equal to C into V, that is 4 into 10 power minus 6 into 200 volt. So that is equal to 800 into 10 power minus 6, or we can say 8 into 10 to the power minus 4 coulomb. Okay, so this total charge remains the same. That is, even if you connect another capacitor with this, the total charge will remain same. This only is the total charge. Okay, the individual charges distributed in the capacitor will be different, but the total sum will remain same. So even after connecting this 2 microfarad, the total charge is going to be this only. Now, we want to find out the loss, isn't it? So first, let us find out what is the initial energy. So initial energy is half CV square. So that is equal to half into, what is C? 4 into 10 power minus 6 into V square. So V square is 200 into 200. So that will be 4 into 10 power 4. Okay. So that will be 8 into 10 to the power minus 2 joule. 8 into 10 power minus 2 joule. So let us keep this aside. Now, after connecting this 2 microfarad capacitor in series, okay, what happens is the voltage, there will be a common voltage. Until the common voltage is attained, the charges will keep redistributing from one capacitor to another capacitor. So we need to find out what is that common potential. Now you know very well, common potential we have derived the formula before. Okay, so the formula for common potential is E is equal to total charge divided by total capacitance. Total capacitance. Alright. Now here total capacitance means not equivalent capacitance. You should not do the series combination thing. Okay. This is just a total capacitance. You just need to write down the value. What is the total value? So 4 microfarad plus 2 microfarad. So that is 6 microfarad. That only we need to write. Don't misunderstand for equivalent capacitance. Alright. So here V is equal to what is the total charge? 8 into 10 to the power minus 4 coulomb divided by total capacitance is 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad. Okay. So what is this equal to? 8 by 6. Let us keep it as such. 8 by 6 into 10 to the power of 2 volt. Okay. Now, to find out the final energy, potential energy stored in the capacitor, so half C1 plus C2, that is the total capacitance, and the common potential square. Okay, common potential square. So that will be equal to half into, what is C1 plus C2? C1 plus C2 is 6, isn't it? 6 microfarad, 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 into what is V square? So this square. So that is 8 into 8 into 10 to the power 4 divided by 6 into 6. So just to solve this, you will get the answer. 4. This will go into table 3 times. So 2 into 8 is 16 by 3. 16 by 3, 10 to the power minus 6 and 4. 16 by 3 into 10 to the power minus 2 volt. Okay. Sorry, minus 2 joule. Correct. Now we have to find out the loss. So loss means initial minus final. Therefore it is a loss. Energy lost in the form of heat is initial minus final. So 8 into 10 power minus 2 minus 16 by 3 into 10 power minus 2. So that will be 24 minus 16 by 3 into 10 to the power minus 2 joule. So that is equal to how much? 24 minus 16 is 8. 8 by 3. So the energy lost is equal to 8 by 3 10 power minus 2 joule. Okay, so this is the answer.
So but select
So 8 by 3 you can write the final value like 8 by 3 will be 2 point something 2.67. Okay, yeah, so you just note it down. Question number 2.28. They are asking us to prove that on a capacitor, so let us say this is plus charge and this is minus charge. Okay, so this is a plate, two-dimensional plate. Okay, they are asking to prove that the force on each capacitor. Now this plate will attract this plate and this plate will attract this plate with some force, isn't it? So the force on each plate is equal to half into Q into E. Okay, it is equal to half into Q into E. That is what we have to prove. Okay. Now to prove this, first we need to understand one thing. We will find out what is the work done. Okay, if in case I am trying to separate these plates. Okay, so I have to do some work which will be against the force of attraction between the plates, isn't it? So if I have to separate these plates, then I have to do work against the force of attraction. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just displace this plate up to this point. Okay, so this negative plate or anything, positive plate, anything, you just displace this up to a distance of delta x. Okay, so what will be the work done? The work done will be F into delta x. That is, F is the force between the plates and delta x is the displacement. Alright, now this work done, what will it be equal to? How will you find out the work done? How will you equate it? So you have studied something called as the energy density. Isn't it? Energy density. So energy density small u, that is equal to half epsilon naught into E square. You have studied this in the derivation while doing in the class. Okay. So this energy density multiplied by the volume. How much volume you have displaced. Okay. So that much energy only is required to move the plate. Okay. So your U into increase in volume. increase in volume. And what will be the increase in volume? So the area of the plate is A into delta x. So that will be u, what is small u given as? Small u is half epsilon naught E square. If you don't remember this formula, go check the derivation in the class that we have done already. Half epsilon naught E square into A into delta x. That is the increase in volume. This is equal to the work done. Okay, this is equal to the work done. So delta x gets cancelled. So F is equal to this equation. Now this doesn't look like this equation. We have to make it to look like that equation. So what can we do? F is equal to half epsilon naught into E into A. Alright. Now what is epsilon naught into E? You know very well the electric field between the plates of the capacitor E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. So from this, what is sigma? Epsilon naught into E. So instead of epsilon naught into E, I can substitute sigma. So I'll get F is equal to half into sigma into A into E. Now sigma into A, that is the charge density multiplied by area. So that is Q, total charge. So that will be half into Q into E. Hence proved. Okay, hence proved. Now they are asking us to justify this half. Okay, so what is the meaning of that half? Of course in derivation you are getting this half, no problem. But what is the meaning of that half? So your half indicates, okay, so it is coming from where it is coming. So you know very well, inside the capacitor the electric field is E and outside the capacitor the electric field is 0. This we have studied in parallel plates derivation. You have seen this. Inside the capacitor the electric field is E, outside is 0. So on the plate, okay, on the plate you will be getting a field which is an average of these two. So therefore you are getting E by 2. Okay, usually what is force? F is equal to Q into E, am I right? But here you are getting half into Q into E. So that half from where it is coming, that is what they are asking in the question. So here instead of E, on the plate the electric field will be E by 2. Okay, therefore that half comes in the equation. Okay, so here the electric field on the plate is E by 2, which is the average of electric field, inside capacitor and outside capacitor and outside the capacitor. Clear? Okay, so inside the capacitor is E and outside is 0, so therefore the average will be E by 2. That is what we are getting in this equation. Alright, okay. Next question is question number 2.29. Question number 2.29. So there is a spherical capacitor. Alright, so in this spherical capacitor we have minus charge inside and plus charge outside. That is, outside means inside of the outside, inside of the large shell. Okay. They are asking us to prove that the capacitance of this spherical capacitor is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R1 R2 divided by R1 minus R2. What is R1 and R2? So the inner shell is R2, okay, and the outer shell, the radius is R1. Okay, so that is what is given. 1 minute, let me check. 4 pi s. Alright, and this charge, inner shell charge is minus q, outer shell charge is plus q. You have to prove this equation. So to prove this, first, to find out the capacitance of any capacitor, the basic equation is charge by voltage. Correct. Basic equation is charge by voltage. Now you know that the charge is q. So if the capacitor is plus q minus q means what is the charge of the capacitor? It is q. That is what we usually take. Okay, so q is the charge of the capacitor, but we don't know what is the potential. Okay, we don't know what is the potential. So to find out the potential, we have the equation V is equal to integral of minus E dot dr. Okay, I hope you would have seen this equation. E is equal to minus dV by dr. You have seen now E is equal to minus dV by dr. So what is the potential from this equation? Integral of minus E vector dot dr vector. Okay, so this is what we have to find out. Now, What is R? You have to consider a Gaussian surface, okay, between the two shells. Okay, the electric field inside the shell is 0. The electric field outside the shell is also 0. Alright, because it is a conductor, a hollow conductor. So in between any conductor, the electric field will be 0. So inside the shell, at this point it is 0. Outside the shell also it is 0. Okay, now, so what will be the electric field inside the two shells? So that will be between the two shells. So that will be from plus to minus. From plus to minus. So it will be radially inwards. The electric field will be radially inwards. Okay. And when you consider the Gaussian surface, okay, the radius of the Gaussian surface is R. So the direction of radius is along this side. Okay, but the electric field is coming from plus to minus, so it is coming in the opposite direction. So the angle between electric field and the radius dr will be 180 degree. Okay, it will be 180 degree. Therefore, E dot dr in cos 180 will become, this minus will go away. So you will get V is equal to integral of E dr alone. E dr cos theta you will be getting. Okay, so what will happen? Integral of E dr cos 180 equal to minus. So cos 180 and this minus will go away. So it will just be integral of E dr. Okay, so this is the voltage V. Now our aim is to find out V. Now what is the charge or what is the electric field? What is the electric field outside this shell? So you imagine, you forget for a moment that you have a shell outside. Okay, because whenever we consider a Gaussian surface, we are only worried about what is present inside the Gaussian surface. We are not worried what is present outside. Okay, so the electric field can be found out by seeing what is enclosed within this shell. Okay, so E is equal to, or you can use a Gauss law. So E into, if you integrate this ds, so what is the surface area? So it is 4 pi r square is equal to q by epsilon naught, correct? So q by epsilon naught. So therefore your electric field E is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So this is the electric field. Now we just have to substitute in the equation and integrate. Okay, so V is equal to integral of q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into dr. And you have to integrate this from R2 to R1. Okay, what are the limits for us? So you have to find out the potential between the outer portion of the inner shell to inner portion of the outer shell. So that is R2 to R1. That is what your integral will be. R2 to R1. Okay, so if you integrate R square, so q by 4 pi epsilon naught is a constant, take it outside. Integral of dr by r square, or I can write it as r power minus 2 dr over the limits r2 to r1. So what will I get? I will get V is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r power minus 1 by minus 1 r2 to r1. Alright, so what will this become? So this will be q by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 1 by r1, okay, plus, sorry, minus 1 by r2. Okay, once you apply the limits, you are going to get this. So I think I can erase this diagram. Okay, I'll continue here. So simplify this equation. So V is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 by r2 minus 1 by r1. 1 by r2 minus 1 by r1. So that is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r1 minus r2 divided by r1 into r2. So this is your potential V. Therefore your capacitance C will be equal to q divided by this. So q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r1 minus r2 into r1 into r2. So Q cancel, this will go to the numerator. This entire thing will go to the numerator. So you will be getting 4 pi epsilon naught R1 into R2 divided by R1 minus R2. So hence proof. That is what they were asking us to. Okay, so actually here R1 is greater than R2. Okay, so the inner shell is R2, the outer shell is R1. That's all.